Hi guys, my name is Cam, and Myles invited me here on his channel to share a little bit of my testimony on how I was healed through Jesus Christ. So I'll try to make it short. Here goes. About late last year, I suddenly had a breakout of allergies that I did not know where it came from. It gets triggered by food, dust, heat, hormones, and I did not have any history. We figured out that it was urticaria or hives around January, I think, and I was put on medication which did not work. About Feb this year, Myles prayed for me. He prayed for my healing when we attended to Vlad's conference in CDO. Then and there, God had already promised me healing. I felt that he told me, he impressed upon me that I will heal you. You are healed. And I held on to that promise. But the healing did not come instantly. I still had a lot of symptoms. I still had like breakouts, the hive breakouts. I still break into allergies every time I eat chicken or crabs, shrimps, shellfish, all those food that triggers allergies. And every time I was still under medication. Every time I have allergies, there are attacks that enter through my mind. There are lies of the enemies that attack my mind and tell me that your God is not powerful, your God did not heal you, or your God broke his promise, this and that, all the lies. So I had to fight through it, and I had to rebuke every single negative thought that came from the enemy, because I knew that it did not come from God. About March or April, I'm not sure, Myles gave me a prophetic word of encouragement about the story of Naaman, the leper. He actually gave me two. He said he saw me writing on a piece of paper using a pencil, and I was like, I rarely use pencil. I always use pens. He said that I was getting impatient, I was getting frustrated, and he related that prophetic word, the pencil story, into the pencil vision, into Naaman the leper. Naaman the leper story resonated with me because he was a leper and he had skin conditions. He had itchies because leprosy is a really bad skin thing, which had happened a long time ago. So I prayed about it. I decided to press on and fight through it all and keep on praying, because I was praying for faith and I was praying for perseverance, because God had already healed me. So I held on to that. But in the midst of it, I was researching through a lot of remedies that can help with the symptoms and all that. I was not contented on the medication I was taking. So there were a lot of in-betweens going on. So after like a few months after that, I was introduced to a certain new set of remedies, and I was ready to. I was thinking, like, in my mind, that won't work, because I tried a lot of things and nothing worked. But I was thinking that, in my mind, okay, I'll just wait for God to heal me, and I'll just go through my routine every single day. And one day I was led into preaching by Stephen Furtick, Don't Stop on 6, or Don't Stop at 6. It's an old preaching in 2014, I think, at a Hillsong conference. He said that just because your prayers doesn't seem to work, or not seem to be working, doesn't mean that God isn't. I'm paraphrasing. So I was like, and he said, some of you are on 6, because it was about a story of how Joshua marched into Jericho and how the walls came tumbling down. So it was like and he said that some of you guys are on 6, so you need to take that leap of faith, that some of you need to walk into that leap of faith, that you need to go the extra round into that wall of Jericho. You have to go through, because Stephen Furtick was saying that don't stop on 6, because some of us are on the 6th. We didn't know that. We don't know, and we don't. Sometimes we get frustrated and impatient about everything that has happened, that we don't think that we don't think, and we expect that we're done. Just like that, we're done. But God is not done with us. He who has put on and started a good work in us will be faithful to complete it. The message just talked to me. Like, it spoke to me and impressed upon me that go and take that 7th leap. You don't stop at 6. You don't stop at 6. Some of us, and most of us, are on 6, and we're contented to be on 6, not realizing that we can be like further. We can go further and go through that seventh round to be able to destroy the walls, right? So I kind of prayed about it, and I realized that, well, Naaman, if you know his story, he was told by the prophet to dip into the Jordan River 7 times and he will be healed. On the 6th time, he was getting so frustrated and he was angry because he was still not healed from the leprosy. So I was like, okay, I'm on 6. I'm on 6. I'm definitely on 6. And Naaman was on the 6th. Naaman was frustrated on the 6th dip, and I'm on 6, so I need to obey, and because obedience is the key, right? So I need to obey and go another step. So I took it as a sign, and I went through the messages of the person who recommended me the final remedy cycle, and she messaged it to me on the last day of the 7th month, on July 31. She sent me the message on July 31. It cannot get any clearer than that. And I counted all the remedies that I tried, and this next remedy that I was about to try would be the 7th remedy, which was texted to me on the last day of the 7th month. So I took it as a sign, as a prompting from God that I was on 6. So I took it. Because faith is all about taking risks, right? But you need to have the right relationship with God for you to be able to take that kind of risk. So I took it. I messaged the person who told me about it, and true enough, after like less than a week, the allergies were gone. On the 4th day because it was a 28-day program, the remedy I tried. So on the 4th day, God gave me a verse from Mark chapter 5, verse 34. And it said, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. Your suffering is over." Guys, the remedy wasn't the one who healed me. Jesus is our healer. So I thank the Lord every day for giving me that journey of healing. Actually, from the time the allergies were triggered and attacked, up to the time on Feb, which the healing was promised, up until August, when I was healed. I was healed in August. God had promised me healing. So if you think about it, everything just fits. Jesus is the one who heals. I thank God every day for healing me, for giving this opportunity. And as a result of that healing, I was given the opportunity to share my healing story to all of you guys. And I thank you, Myles, for inviting me over to talk about it. And yeah. And because of this ministry, I got to meet a lot of new people, and we were inspired to start our own ministry as well. And the first part of Myles' prophetic word for me about the pencil and the erasing on the paper. Yeah, about the same time I was healed, the Holy Spirit unlocked a new skill as I acted in obedience to His prompting for me to start into co-creating art with God, because He wants to use art as His message to the world. So through this ministry, I got to meet a lot of people. All of those people are now in the same ministry, in the same art ministry as me. So I would like to share with you our art ministry as well. It's called Heartbeat of God. Shout out to Mel, one of the admins of Heartbeat of God, who gave me that, who obeyed the prompting of the Holy Spirit to give me that extra nudge to start obeying the Holy Spirit into grabbing that brush, that pencil, to start co-creating with God through art. Hi, Mel. Please check us out on Facebook. Hit us a like, and we are also on Instagram, the same thing, Heartbeat of God. I'd like to thank Jesus for healing me, and also for giving us this opportunity to share, being able to share the story to all of you guys, and being able to share artworks to all of you through this ministry as well. If you think about it, everything that has happened, which had led to this, like now, the present, today, has been so amazing. The journey was nothing short of overwhelming. I am someone who has not drawn a single decent thing for as long as I can remember. I'm not an artist. I'm not really artsy. But when the Holy Spirit prompted me to do art, I obeyed. Takeaways would be, guys, if the Holy Spirit tells you to do something, the key to everything is obedience. Because obedience unlocks a lot of things. Blessings, for one. But you need to pray about it. Because faith is also about taking risks, right? So, yeah, but you need to have a right relationship with God first before you take big risks. Big risks. Back to my healing journey. Obedience is definitely our responsibility, and the rest is up to God. Because, again, just because our prayers are not working doesn't mean that God isn't. Just because we feel like we are not progressing with our prayers doesn't mean God isn't. Doesn't mean that God isn't doing anything. So, yeah, that's it. I'll leave you with that. Thanks again, Myles, for inviting me over and for letting me share my story of healing. And don't forget to follow his channels and all his Facebook pages. Yeah, thanks again, Myles, for having me. Did I introduce myself? Yeah, I think I did. My name is Cam. If I didn't, my name is Cam. And I'm one of the artists from Art Beat of God. Thanks, guys. God bless.